The Lakers organization has been moving in silence lately, and there's a reason why the energy inside the practice facility feels different. Something's shifting in Los Angeles, something that's been whispered about in scouting circles but hasn't fully broken through to the mainstream conversation yet. I'm talking about a strategic pivot that could define the next decade of Lakers basketball, a decision that's being mapped out right now while most fans are focused on the immediate present. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report, your most trusted source for breaking news, insider analysis, and everything purple and gold. I'm here to deliver the latest updates and most credible information about our beloved Lakers, making sure you're always one step ahead when it comes to understanding where this franchise truly headed. Today, I'm bringing you something that goes beyond the typical game recaps and injury reports. We're talking about the future, about succession planning at the highest level, about how the Lakers are preparing for a transition that every single one of us knows is coming, but nobody wants to openly acknowledge. Before I dive into the specifics, I need you to understand the magnitude of what's behind the scenes right now. This isn't speculation for click. This isn't manufactured drama. This is real strategic planning by one of the most storied franchises in professional sports history, and the implications stretch far beyond just one player or one season. Let me start painting the full picture. The Lakers have always been defined by their ability to plan ahead, to think 3 and 4 moves down the chest, while other teams are just reacting to what's happening today. That's how you maintain across decades. That's how you stay relevant generation after generation. Right now, at this very moment, the basketball operations department is engaged in conversation evaluation that will fundamentally shape what Lakers basketball looks like in 2027, 2028, and beyond. They're asking difficult questions, analyzing trends, studying and building frameworks, sustained success, even as circumstances around the team continue to evolve. We're currently in the middle of a season where the on-court dynamics have already started to shift in subtle but meaningful ways. Anthony Davis has firmly established himself as cornerstone, the guy everything runs through on both ends of the floor. Austin Reeves has emerged as a legitimate playmaker and closer, someone who can create his own shot and make winning plays in crucial moments. The supporting cast around them has shown flashes of real potential, and the team chemistry has been building organically. But there's an underlying reality that everyone in that locker room understands, even if it's not discussed openly in press conference post-game interviews. LeBron James turned 41 years old, and he's now in his 23rd NBA season. Let that sink in. For 23 years of professional at the highest level imaginable. The longevity alone is unprecedented. The consistency has been remarkable, and the impact he's had on this franchise since arriving in 2018 cannot be overstated. But we're also dealing with the inescapable truth that comes with father time. He remains undefeated, and even the greatest players in history eventually have to confront the reality that their careers have ended. LeBron's contract with the Lakers expires at the end of the 2025 season, and according to multiple credible reports, he didn't extension summer. That's not a small detail. That's a significant data point that tells you something about where his mind might be. ESPN recently published an in-depth piece examining the various signs that could indicate this might be LeBron's final chapter in the league. His agent, Rich Paul, hasn't pushed for contract extension talk. LeBron himself has made comments about wanting to spend more time with his family, about missing moments at home while the grind of an 82-game season plus playoffs takes him across the country. There's been this subtle shift in how he talks about the game. Stop arenas, city deliberately, almost like someone taking mental photographs before a long journey ends. He mentioned on Christmas Day that he'd honestly rather be on the couch with his family, a statement that carries weight coming from someone who's built his entire identity around being on court. I'm not here to speculate about when LeBron will retire. That's his decision, his timeline, and whatever he chooses will be respected by this fan base because he's earned that level of reverence. What I am here to discuss is how the Lakers are preparing for life after LeBron, whenever that comes. And this is where things get really interesting because the organization isn't waiting around hoping things work out. They're being proactive, they're identifying potential solutions, and they're positioning themselves to maintain competitive excellence even through major roster transitions. The 2026 NBA Draft represents a critical opportunity for the Lakers to add a young, high-ceiling talent who can grow into a featured role as the roster composition naturally evolves. Mock drafts are already circulating. Scouts are evaluating college players with NBA futures in mind, and certain names keep appearing in Lakers-related discussion. This isn't about replacing LeBron, because nobody replaces LeBron James. What you can do is identify identify a player whose skill set style could allow the team to maintain offensive versatility and playmaking, even as the veteran presence transitions to the next generation star. Recent analysis from respected draft expert has the Lakers targeting a specific position, a position that makes tremendous sense given where this roster's headed. We're talking about wings who can handle the ball, create for themselves and others, shoot from distance, and provide positional size that creates matchup advantage. The modern NBA is increasingly defined by these versatile forwards who blur the lines between traditional positions, guys who can run pick and roll as the ball handler, spot up in the corner for threes, attack closeouts with decisive drives, and facilitate offense through their vision and passing ability. Think about the players dominating the league right now: Luka Doncic, Cade Cunningham, Paolo Banchero. These are oversized playmakers who can do everything on the offensive end, and teams are desperately searching for players who fit that archetype. Now here's where I need you to pay close attention, because this is the heart of what I want to share with you today. There's a 19-year-old kid playing college basketball right now who's catching the attention of every serious NBA front office, including ours. He's not American. He comes from a basketball program overseas that's produced legitimate NBA talent, and he's currently showcasing his abilities at Virginia Tech in the ACC. The tape on this player is compelling, the production has been consistent, and the skill set translates almost perfectly to what modern NBA offenses require. Scouts who've watched him extensively are drawing comparisons to former NBA players who had long, successful careers as versatile offensive weapons. His name is Neoclis Abdalas, and before you dismiss him as just another draft prospect hyped up every year, let me break down exactly so intriguing specific. Abdalas stands 6'9" with legitimate ball-handling skills, court vision that allows him to see passing lane before they fully develop, and a shooting stroke that's shown real promise from beyond the. In 12 games this season with the Hokies, he's averaging 14.6 points, 3.5 rebounds, 5 assists, while shooting 44.4%, 1% from three-point range. Those aren't just solid numbers for freshmen. Those are impressive statistics that demonstrate his ability to impact the game in multiple ways. What separates Abdalas from other draft prospects is his basketball IQ and his natural feel for the game. He doesn't force things. He plays within the flow of the offense while also showing the confidence to take over possession when necessary. His assist numbers reflect legitimate playmaking, not just hockey assists or simple kickout. He's running pick and roll as the ball handler, making advanced reads based on how the defense reacts, and finding teammates in rhythm for high-percentage look. That type of processing speed and decision-making at his age suggests he can handle the complexity of NBA offensive systems relatively quickly. Draft analysts have him ranked second-best small forward in the entire 2026, trailing only A.J. Debonsa, who's projected to go in the top 3 picks. If the draft order holds, the Lakers maintain their current positioning, there's a realistic scenario where Abdalas is available when the Lakers are on the clock in the late first round. That would represent exceptional value, kind of draft day development, championship organization capital, getting a potential high-level starter, pick 25 as other teams prioritize positions, or reach for safer prospects. Exactly how to build sustained success. The comparisons to Hiro Turkoglu are particularly interesting when you think about how that style of player fits with the Lakers. Turkoglu wasn't the most athletic guy on the floor, but he was incredibly skilled, crafty with the ball, capable of making the right play consistently, and he stretched defenses with his shooting ability. Abdalas brings that same type of versatility, that same capacity to play multiple roles depending on what the team needs in any given possession. Need someone to bring the ball up the court and initiate the offense? He can do that. Need a spot-up shooter spacing the floor in the corner? He can do that too. Need someone to attack a mismatch post or face up from the mid-range? He's got that in his bag. Now I want to be transparent about concern, because every prospect has them, and pretending they don't exist would be dishonest. The biggest question about Abdalas' center or athleticism and whether he can create separation against elite NBA defenders. He's not going to blow by guys with explosive first-step quickness, and there are legitimate concerns about his finishing ability through contact when he gets to the rim. His on-ball defense will need development, and like most young players, consistency can be an issue night to night. These aren't deal breakers. They're just areas that will require coaching and development once he reaches the NBA level. But here's the thing about those concerns. The league has evolved to the point where elite athleticism isn't as essential as it once was, especially for players who rely on skill, IQ, and shooting to impact winning. Luka Doncic isn't winning MVP because of his vertical leap. Nikola Jokic isn't dominating the league with speed and explosiveness. These guys succeed because they're fundamentally brilliant at basketball, because they understand angles and timing and leverage, because they make everyone around them better through their playmaking and decision-making. Abdalas has that type of potential, that capacity to impact winning through intelligence and skill rather than pure physical dominance. His ability to stretch the floor is particularly valuable when you consider the Lakers' current Anthony opts best space for him to work post and attack at range. Austin Reeves needs driving lanes to get to his floaters and create for others. Having a 6'9" wing who can knock down threes at a respectable clip and also make plays off the dribble creates natural offensive synergy. The pick-and-roll combinations between Reeves and Abdalas, or AD rolling to the rim while Abdalas operates as the passer, these are the types of actions that modern NBA offenses are built around. You're adding another dimension to the attack, another player who defense has to account for, another threat who can punish mistakes and exploit mismatch. The international experience Abdalas brings shouldn't be overlooked either. He played professionally in Greece for Peristeri BC before coming to Virginia Tech, meaning he's already competed against grown men in a physical, tactical league. That maturity shows up in how he plays, the patience he demonstrates, the way he doesn't panic under pressure. American college players often struggle with the adjustment to NBA speed and physicality, but international prospects who've been in professional environments already understand what that level of competition requires. It's an underrated advantage that often leads to smoother transition for international draft. Let me address the elephant in the room directly. Some of you probably thinking this is premature, that we shouldn't be discussing LeBron's successor still actively playing at a high level and contributing to winning. I understand that, and I want to be clear that this isn't about pushing LeBron out the door or disrespecting everything he's done for his franchise. This is about acknowledging reality and praising the Lakers' forward-thinking enough plan for future roster construction, even while competing in the present. Great organizations do both simultaneously. They maximize their current championship window while also prepare for the next. The Lakers know they have a finite timeline core, and they're smart enough to recognize that adding young talent through the draft creates both immediate depth and long-term flexibility. If Abdalas comes in and can contribute even 15 to 20 minutes per game as a rookie, if he spends a year or two developing behind established veteran and then emerges as a key rotation player, it's valuable too. Either way, you're investing in future success without sacrificing present competitiveness. The financial implications also make sense when you break down the number. Rookie-scale contracts provide incredible value under the current CBA, especially for first-round picks who show promise. You're getting 4 years of team control at below-market rates for what the player actually provides, and if they develop into a legitimate starter, you have bird rights and the ability to extend them before they hit restricted free agent. That type of cost-controlled talent allows you to allocate cap space other positions, to add veteran pieces through free agency, to maintain roster flexibility while building around your core. It's asset management at its finest. I've spent considerable time watching Abdalas tape from this, and there are possessions that genuinely get you excited about attention. There's a game against Clemson where he took over the fourth quarter, hitting big threes, making the right pass, double team, and controlling pace like a seasoned veteran. There's a sequence against Miami where he ran a perfect pick and roll, rejected the screen, created space, sidestep dribble, and buried a mid-range jumper over a closing defender. These aren't lucky plays or system-generated easy buckets. These are high-level basketball skills that translate to winning NBA games. His assist-to-turnover ratio suggests he takes care of the basketball and makes sound decisions with it in his hand. He's averaging nearly 5 assists, keeping turnover low, a balance that indicates he knows when to pass. That type of decision-making is crucial to facilitate offense and create for others at the level. The Lakers need players who can handle the ball and run the offense when when AD and Austin need rest or when the second unit is on the floor. Abdalas could eventually fill that role perfect. The three-point shooting is perhaps the most encouraging aspect of his offensive game. He's converting 37.1% of his attempts from deep on solid volume, and the shot looks clean canic. He gets good elevation. There's minimal wasted motion in his release, and he's comfortable taking them off the catch or off the dribble. In today's NBA, you absolutely must be able to shoot from distance if you want a significant minute special wing. Neoclis Abdalas represents a versatile, skilled player, translates winning pattern. Whether he becomes a star or a solid rotation contributor, drafting him would be a sound organizational decision that keeps the Lakers competitive during a crucial transition period. This is the type of move that championship franchises make. The kind of long-term thinking separates perennial contenders from teams that constantly cycle between competing and rebuilding. Make sure you're subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update as we track this through the rest of college season and into draft season. I'll be breaking down every development, workout, every piece of relevant information that impact the Lakers draft strategy. This is the only place you need to be for comprehensive, honest Lakers coverage that goes beyond surface level take. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this community, and let's continue building toward that 18th banner together. Lakers Nation, our future is bright.